Good evening, everybody. This is Benny's Breakdown with friends again, but this is also the kind of the hater cast or hater group or whatever we're calling it right now. We're kind of got together to make a video of some topics or kind of specific topic that we wanted to touch on as the three of us. And kind of want to give a little disclaimer to start off. We're probably going to talk about some sensitive subjects, but don't take it seriously. We're not trying to single anyone out, any group of fans out, or anything like that. Just trying to do it as a kind of help us out as a kind of fan base and a social media collective and all that stuff. So I just wanted to get that out of the way right now. So just kind of keep that in mind while you kind of hear us, rant on for the next half hour or however long this will go.
As per the last time, it's going to be not safe for work again.
Yes, headphones are strongly recommended.
Definitely profanity.
Definitely profanity, and
adult subjects.
Your adult subjects.
It's hockey. It's not really that adult of a subject.
Let's be real here.
Adult situations.
Yeah. But anyway, just wanted to get that on the table, as it were.
We're going to put the TVMA thing in the corner.
But anyway, I'm going to let TC kind of start off with his opening rant / topic, and this is going to kind of be more freeform than our last one. I'm kind of pulling the curtain back, but we had a little bullet point thing that we were going by, but
still pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, he doesn't exist.
There's no man behind the curtain.
Anyway, with all that loveliness out of the way, let us begin.
The number one thing that I feel that needs to be brought up right now is that we need to stop being so incredibly fucking delusional as a fan base, because we keep thinking somehow that we're overnight going to become this elite team, and it's not going to happen. You have to work at it. We're not going to suddenly become a Chicago or a Detroit or an LA or a Montreal. You have to work at that. And times are going to be tough until we get there, because it takes a while.
Well said.
Yeah. So, I mean, to touch on that, I know there's probably this kind of lovely mixed group of fans that we have. It's kind of like long time. I hate using my fan card that I'm in that kind of day one, year one. Remember back when we were igniting the night and all that shenanigans they had when we first got the team. That we had like that part of the fan base. I haven't been socially active until the last, past lockout or whenever it was. So you have like that kind of group. You have like another group that kind of got in like the first time we did playoffs, and then at least social media wise and kind of around the city too, like the last playoff appearance, kind of got another group of fans involved, and I know they've kind of really only known the team, at least as far as I can tell. Again, not speaking for that group entirely, but know what culminated with that season before that, almost making the playoffs, stuff like that. They just kind of know their success, and then now here's this season where, as it stands right now, we are in the basement looking up.
We're a dumpster fire.
Yeah, a dumpster fire that there were kind of signs, but I still, me as a fan and kind of knowing the sport a little more, didn't see coming per se. I mean, that it's happened, it was a thing that potentially could have happened, but never thought it would be this. So,
I was expecting to at least be in the upper end of mid-wing teams, and
instead of the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to be at the top, but at least be somewhere in the upper portion of the middle. But that's just a completely lost idea now, and we need to be more realistic about what to expect out of this team, and understand that we don't really have any of the. We have talent, but we don't have the kind of talent that's going to take us to that exact spot unless something happens with them in general, bringing them up, making them better. Because as it stands, our top line guys would all be second liners on other teams. Our top defensemen would be middle to at best on other teams. We're a team that's made up almost entirely of depth guys. The only thing that's elite about us is Bob. And Bob's kind of easily rattled, and it's shown this season.
It's definitely rattled, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me some Bobrovsky, but like this injury that he it's always been a thing with his groin muscles and all that, and yeah, we heard that he was doing all these different exercises in the off season, different training and all this and that, but he has to have or not have to, but we think that they're having these like highlight reel saves every night, and as much as we would love to see that, I just think maybe as young as he is, it might have taken a toll on his body. I'm saying he's gonna be done, or
I mean, there's a reason every year he's having groin. Sorry. Every year he's having groin injuries. He probably pushes himself. He definitely pushes himself.
Yeah, I mean, when you got to carry the team on your back every goddamn night, that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it.
You have no option but to push yourself. It's either to push yourself or just look like shit.
That's true.
I mean, he's a workhorse, but at the same time, you can't just expect that performance out of him night in and night out.
You can't be the only one. There has to be more of the team than just Bob.
Like, what I would hear is like the team is as good as Bob is. And
that's a piss poor mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like other teams can, get carried on the back of their goaltenders. I mean, I don't think Bobrovsky.
I mean, a goaltender is an integral part, but it can't be the only part.
Yeah.
So,
and going to the season, the defense was a big question mark for me, but I just didn't think it was going to be what it is. I thought them, hearing from, local and national media that, they're not that good, and they had heard it and they know it, and they said, we're using that as motivation. I'm like, cool, these guys are, professional athletes, and, sometimes that's what people need to, get going and get their ass in gear and, perform, and it just didn't work. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, either that or the statements just really got in their heads and they started to believe it that, we do suck.
Yeah, there's that possibility too. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a professional athlete, but I can stretch the imagination, clearly. But it is kind of a double-edged sword with, and it's kind of another point we're going to bring up is the move or lack of moves we had in the postseason, or postseason, but
and what ones we did have were awful.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Saad is the worst player ever or anything, but he's kind of turned out to be a bit of a bust. He's not playing anywhere near to what he looked like when he was with the Hawks, which kind of validated my fears that he might have just been the product of having two hot line mates. And honestly, why the hell did we go after him? We had the opportunities to get Oduya and Dougie Hamilton all at the same time and didn't. When we needed defensemen, instead of going, hey, let's act, there's two good defensemen that are available, one of which has been a top two on a team that was actually pretty good, that happened to fall apart near the end, but he was a top two defenseman, and he's up for grabs, and he's young, we can build around him, and we let him fucking go. Why the hell would you do that knowing that you need defense? And instead you trade for this top forward that we need, but we don't need.
The best way is
really didn't need it.
Yeah. The best way to put it is a luxury item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's that Ferrari you have in your garage that looks nice.
He's that extra piece of chrome.
And when the car's not running, you really don't need that extra piece of chrome.
Old motorcycle adage.
Yeah.
Chrome doesn't make it run better, but it makes it look good as you push it.
Exactly.
It's true. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Saad's never going to be a better player. I mean, you know, there's a couple articles, I mean, I didn't read them fully, that you know, he said that, you know, this losing is, you know, kind of bittersweet, has this weird, you know, this sting, because he hasn't really experienced that, and he's, what, 22, 23, and has 2 Stanley Cups. I mean, he just doesn't, in the NHL, he just doesn't know about this kind of situation. I mean, best way I can put it is this is going to make or break him. I mean, will he be a Jacket in the future? Probably, because I don't think many people would want that contract, and we just signed him. I don't think I'm not even saying you know, the team is going to, you know, get rid of him or anything. This is just us, you know, speculating, kind of just having our ideas out there in the ether, as they say.
Kind of just venting.
But anyway, there's a couple other defensemen that were kind of out there that, yeah, they might have been all right, but it, you know, I think we just kind of put too much stock in having a healthy Ryan Murray. I'm not saying he won't be a good defenseman or isn't. It's just they're like, oh, he's healthy, and, you know, potentially all his knee issue and stuff is behind him, and then they just
slam the weight of the world on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then they just had that, you know. You know, how I see it is, I don't think we would have paid him the same that we're paid Saad. I mean, that would have been insane. $6 million a year.
It's a lot of money.
But
Dougie Hamilton probably would have been up there, but not as much.
Yeah, Hamilton probably would have been around.
But Hamilton's a guy that we could have for damn near ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like, you know, Aduya, or, I mean, you know, Keith would have cost us a pretty penny, but this is just, you know, speculations. It's like, you know, Chicago needed to dump contracts, and, you know.
It seems like they probably made out pretty well on this deal.
Yeah, they did. Like, I was, you know, TC and I were talking earlier in the week. I mean, I'm not a Chicago fan by any stretch of the imagination, but we were talking about, you know, the roles like, you know, Anisimov and Dano having the team. I mean, like, Artie's, you know, playing out there, but he's like, you know, second, third line guy or whatever, and he kind of does what he did here. Like, he, you know, have these bursts and these streaks, but not, you know, as consistent. And then Dano's getting floated from Rockford to their 4th line.
Yeah, he's a call up, and he's not doing anything because they're a team that doesn't have a very good 4th line, and when you're just slamming him in there to be like, oh yeah, you're just a filler guy, then he's not gonna do anything.
There's no way to develop or, you know, learn with the team.
Which sucks, because the kid has, you know,
he proved he has talent.
Yeah.
He just needs to actually be able to play with people that have talent as well. That's why him and Hartnell were so damn scary together towards the end of the season last year.
Yeah, and, you know, that's what's good. Chicago, I mean, they have, like, you know, some other young kids coming up. You know, that Panarin kid kind of came out of nowhere. Like, even, like, some of the Nashville people were like, where did this kid come from? What's going on? He's Russian.
He's still not as exciting as Larkin in my eyes, but
yeah, it's true. But
that's a completely different story.
That might be a completely different episode. But so that was, we kind of want to touch on that. Another topic that I know I've harped on, especially if you follow me on social media, it's becoming a thing again, is other fans telling people how to fan. You know, it sounds like a weird statement, but
that's what's happening.
It's happening. It's happening again. I mean, it sucks because of this you know, slump that we're in again. But, you know, people telling each other, oh, if you can't be here for the bad, you know, you shouldn't be here for the good, which in my eyes is an insane thing to tell somebody when it comes to a sport that, let me spell this out. If I piss some of you off, that's fine, whatever, but we don't play the game. Like, look at me. We don't play the game. We are not on the ice. We are in the stands. We are cheering. We can be part of the team in a way of making our arena a hostile environment, and I'm not talking about the issue that some of you know, with the Pittsburgh game, the Pens fan assaulting a Jackets fan, not that kind of hostile, but being loud, chanting, cheering, being part of the home ice advantage. That's what we can do as fans. And instead, this season, it sucks. There's booing going on, but I've seen it on social, like on Facebook, Twitter, all this, that, people are like, if you can't be here for the bad, you shouldn't be here for the good. Look, I understand where you're coming from. I do. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's a sport that we obviously all love, but other people,
She's definitely got like full rain on that light.
Take it.
Sorry about that, real life. But
No.
it's a sport that that we all love, but at the same time, it's a sport that we're supposed to use, have as a distraction. Some people react the way they do by, I don't say giving up, but might feel, pull back on their, going to games or being active on social media or buying merchandise or all that. But don't take that out and tell people you can't be a fan when, I'm being as optimistic as I can when this gets turned around, because it's a sport. Things will change and get better. But when this gets turned around, don't sit there and be like, oh, you weren't here around for the bad years, so get out of the arena and stop spending money. We can't do that, especially being a small market team and being dominated by Ohio State, all that stuff. We cannot have that mentality as a fan base. And again, I love this team. I know where you're coming from with this whole thing, but don't go after people, who might not to give up, but kind of take a step back, because how I look at it is sports are supposed to distract us from our lives, and when you have this thing going to the team, some people, they will react that way of taking a step back and not being, I don't say as supportive, but just being there. But, when they come back, just embrace them and be like, hey, stuff happens, welcome back, and just embrace them and be like, oh, we love hockey, let's go see people punch each other and shoot a frozen piece of rubber around at 80 to 90 miles an hour and run into each other at 30 miles an hour and all that fun physics.
That sounds pretty cool.
Exactly, that's why we love hockey. Yeah. It's this crazy sport if you think about it. People on little pieces of steel on frozen, on ice, skating around 20, 30 miles an hour, shooting a frozen piece of rubber at each other, wearing plastic. That's hockey. It's insane. That's what we love it, because it's crazy and it's fast and it's awesome. So just remember that. Like, when this does get better, this season is whatever happens is happening, blah. Just remember that. When it gets better, just, be like, this is cool, because we're all crazy. We all love this crazy sport, and let's just, that's my kind of rant on that.
And this is the time in a team's life, and we're only, 14 years old?
15,
yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. If I think about 15 years old. This is about the time when a team starts to build, we're laying the foundations for our traditions as a fan base. So
yeah,
we don't want to put these kind of poor traditions in place, or poor attitudes in place. So just remember that.
And being a smaller market team, we're a bigger city, but we're a small market team in between three established teams and fan bases. This is just part of it.
Yeah, something I want to touch on about the fan base. Right now, I am sick and tired of, I see it everywhere, we need to be positive. There's nothing to be positive about right now. Winning a game like we did last night against Arizona, whoop-de-fucking-do. That game was a mess. all of those goals on both sides, that's a fucking mess. That's not something to be positive about. That's, yeah, we got to win, but we looked like shit doing it. When we have something to be positive about is when if we lose, we're only losing by a goal, or if both sides are under 3 goals apiece, or something like that. But not, oh, we need to be positive because it's going to help rally the team. The team isn't constantly going, I need to check this. Every fan's Facebook, Twitter, they're not doing that.
I mean, they care, but they don't.
They care, but they don't care enough to be, I'm going to go check every fan's social media accounts.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. But, yeah, when there's something to be positive about, it's going to be great. But for right now, I'm not saying focus on the negative, but there's a lot of negative, and that's really all we have right now. The team in general has just, there's no try. Like, my general thoughts on it are a line from a song. Where's your anger? Where's your fucking rage? Because we used to have some heart to the team, and now we don't have shit. Half the team is just lethargically gliding around. Mm-hmm. Not singling out any players, because there's multiples. Even the guys that do care still have a shift here and there where that happens, because they're just so fucking dejected from how bad everything's going.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not really much more to say. I don't spend much time on social media, which I'm really happy about now.
Well, just kind of more on the team and what's going on.
How do I feel about it?
Star Wars mode, but
yeah, sorry. I've been a little unfocused on hockey because, as everyone probably knows, Star Wars release was last night, and it's been taking up all my time and energy and love. My thoughts are, it's really hard to, like, when the team doesn't care. Like you said, I've watched it. You see the energy just leave so fast, and you see them just they're not really putting the best in. It's hard to stand by and try to be positive and focus on this and be like, yeah, go Jackets. I mean, I talk to people at work who are just like, man, the Jackets suck, and I'm really, it's really tiring to hear about that every day. And I'm gonna stay the course, stay on target. But it's, feeling this and going through this is difficult. I'm sorry, it had to happen. It's hard. And I know people want to be positive, but he's right. Like, there's nothing to be positive about at this point in time. We have a lackluster team. We're not a big market. We're not a big power. We don't have the talent. We may have the talent in the future that could get better. We're young. We are a young team, but we've been saying that for 5-6 years now. They're a young team, and it's like, when are we going to develop?
Yeah, there comes a point where it's like, we're a young team is our go-to crutch for why shit sucks.
We're bad. Yeah.
Even young teams get good.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like look
Calgary,
mm-hmm. Colorado last
mm-hmm.
year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The Coyotes this year.
Yeah.
Like
they're doing pretty well.
They're not the greatest, but they're better than they've been in a while.
And you can see that when, like, that young core gets,
mm-hmm.
has another, like, season or two,
they're going to be scary.
Yeah.
They're legitimately going to be scary.
But then we thought that about us last year. So maybe we're just delusional. We see us having this little short streak where we're like, oh, we're finally winning again, everyone's healthy, and then we think.
Well, last season, like, it's so hard to have last season as a benchmark for anything, as being good, bad, mm-hmm. this, that, and that. Mm-hmm. Because, I
mm-hmm.
never blamed injuries, but we had so much injuries, and the lineup was so messed up. You had those spurts, like in December, and of course, we're at the end of the season when
mm-hmm.
nothing mattered, blah, blah, blah. That rhetoric has been beaten to the ground with, the biggest hammer in the fucking world.
Mm-hmm. That horse is powder by now.
Yeah, which I see both sides to it. Yeah, nothing matters. The players were, just playing, but at the same time they were playing,
and having fun.
But they were also playing other professionals. So there's
if they were going out and having fun, that'd be great.
And
honestly, but it doesn't look like they're doing that.
And we were going and like playing other teams that were trying to get in the playoffs and beating that. You know, we were playing spoiler a little bit. Like we didn't stop anyone from getting in the playoffs, but you know, they came, you know, when we play them or they come to Columbus, you know, we won with 16 of like what, 20 or whatever it was down the stretch.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I know, like I said, it, you know, the end of the season we were just out of the playoffs. Da, 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 da. I get all that. At the same time, you know, how I see it is, there was something. There was like you saw the seeds. You know, you saw like from the cohesion starting. You know, you saw them like out there and playing and having fun, and then even going like into camp in the preseason. Like I try and not look at preseason. I know I had my CBJ goggles on, but oh look, preseason. And
yeah, we all did.
We all did. Goal scoring and things.
I was gonna say the most exciting thing about the preseason was actually getting to see the kids that are coming down the line. Because
well, I don't know.
we have a really good pool of kids that are coming up.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. There was a lot of good talents from that's playing in Cleveland right now.
Yeah.
So
like that's something to look forward to. It's just unfortunately as it stands, till they get here, shit's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great because then we can maybe if we start honing some of our players now and those kids will come up. Yeah. We might actually have a good pool to pick up from. But.
And for the love of God, I don't want to see any of the defensemen come up for like 3 years.
Yeah. Let them play.
Because that is not. We're not going to be like, hey, let's push this young defenseman. That's not how defensemen work.
Yeah. No, you got to let them develop.
Like even when they get to the NHL, they still need like what? They keep hearing like what 300 games or something to at least start to see where they're going to be.
Yeah,
and especially like how much like the game changes season to season. Like the defensemen have to pick up on all this other stuff that everyone else is doing. Like how goalies are change every season, so they can be on the same page with the goalie. And you never know what if forwards start playing the game a little different. The defense has to adapt to that, and it's much different position than what it used to be. Especially like what we were talking about, where they're also expected to.
Every defenseman is expected to be an offensive powerhouse, and that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Defensemen, people need to stop looking at just the stat line to evaluate defensemen, because that position is so weird that stats don't really keep track of it. Plus minus is like the closest thing to be able to be like, yeah, that is a stat that is a little bit of an indicator. Or like block shots, shit like that. But like the Norris Trophy, as much as I love defensemen, I think the Norris is a fucking joke right now because it's about who the most offensive defenseman is. Like Carlson's a good player. He didn't really deserve it because he's not really that great of a defenseman. He just throws the fucking puck at the net.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go, we'll go more on. I don't know if you want to go backwards and go more on.
Maybe we can kind of circle back around to something.
Just the way our fans are. Like we have a reason to not. I kind of remembered I brought this up like a month ago, but we have a reason to really like expect more, and we don't need to sit here and say let's be positive about this team because this is not only is it costing us our ticket money. This team, like I love the Jackets, and I don't want everything any to change, but this arena and the team costs us a lot of money in terms of our tax base. I mean,
you account.
I know. Oh my God! No, I'm serious. This arena.
I know.
It costs the schools a lot of money. It costs the city a lot of money. Like, there's no reason we should sit here and expect. I'm framing your argument from a different point of view.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Accountant, we know.
Yeah,
but
no, I think that's a reason why.
Bringing your job into things.
I'm not bringing my job into things. I'm bringing my point of view because like we should expect that of this team.
Yeah, we're not going to be.
I'm sorry. Numbers, they're great.
Like how with PC Pro, we're not going to be like this powerhouse overnight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just expect more.
Right.
I know I did going into the season as being a fan.
Oh, we all did. God, I remember how excited I was.
Yeah.
That first game, I was.
Yeah, the first game, against the Rangers.
Rangers, oh my God.
And the good game, and then
until the last two.
And then up. And, you know, Saad scored. You know, the lines are looking good. You're like, oh God, like
this is the year.
Like we finally made it, and then poop emoji.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I've never played hockey. I don't claim to be a professional athlete, so I don't know what's going on in my locker room, in between people's ears, all that. I'm not saying I do, but I'm just giving my opinion on how I see it with my kind of realist / optimistic-ish kind of point of view, where I kind of look and see what the problem is and how it can get better. But even though I have no say in anything, it's just how my brain works.
Yeah, like we've been talking about, the homer blinders are just gone. Because you can't put up your blinders and be like, oh, well, I've got faith that things are just going to get better just because. No, you got to be realistic about things. Mm-hmm. Like, realistically, what the fuck's going on with how the team's being rebuilt?
Yeah.
Like, you mean the lack of direction of how it's being rebuilt?
Because it's we're going off this way. We're going to go get something big, and then we're going to go get random support guys that are redundant. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
When we really don't have the solid core that we really need.
No.
We've got a great goalie, but
I mean, what?
There's like about it.
2 seasons ago, we could have done this. Go get a big star.
Yeah.
Because we had all these support pieces. The unfortunate circumstance is we let all of those support pieces go.
We trade them for the big stars almost.
No, we let guys go to free agency just because. Yeah. And it's like, this guy was good. He's not first or second line good, but he's good. And that's something that we don't need superstars right now. We need guys that are just solid. Mm-hmm. If a solid team that is solid on all 4 lines and all 3 pairs is going to play as well as the team that's got that immaculate first and second line and immaculate top D pair.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be consistent all the way down. Mm-hmm. You're playing against something just as hard completely through the game. Mm-hmm.
Like,
we have a solid third line.
We've got arguably one of the best third lines in the league.
For sure.
But
I was just going to bring your point. Look at playoff season. Like, we had a pretty consistent line, and defense was, but it was still like at least consistent. Mm-hmm. And then we go up against the powerhouse that is Pittsburgh, and
it's not a powerhouse anymore.
Yes. Minus Malkin with his hat trick in Game 6, kind of shut it down and always had those tight, tight. But every game was 3-4. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a little higher scoring, but it's also the playoffs, and it's just teams hit this second stride that I didn't think that we had, and all of a sudden Jack Johnson is leading the team in goals in the playoffs. I'm like, what is life?
And now he's not done shit since.
No.
So there's just all that, and I don't know if anyone else has anything else to kind of want to bring up. I mean, the last.
If I talk anymore, I'm going to start bringing up shit about other teams, and then we're going to lose a lot of focus.
Right.
Yeah, and then it'll just go on the place.
Because you know that I can do that.
The only thing, one last thing I wanted to bring up, I know it's been some posts I've seen, is the whole Johansson talks. I just want to touch on it. You guys don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, because I know that every angle has been beaten to the ground.
I was going to say, I think my statement about just being sick of people defending him as he's a legit top line center. No, he's currently not. For the past few seasons, really not. He's the top line center here, but that's because our top line is second or third liners on other teams. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying every other team. I'm talking the teams that everyone thinks we are.
Yeah. But all I wanted to say is just take everything as rumors and these beat inside guys giving their opinions. I see tweets and Facebook posts, 5-6 times a day oh, Joey is going to get traded to Nashville for blah, or he's in talks with I heard like Montreal was a supposed rumor.
My favorite one has been the one that came from like random fans. It was he's going to Vancouver for Horvat and 3 guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my absolute favorite one that I've read.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. What is that? And like, yeah, like if
That sounds one-sided.
Yeah. Or if you get Vancouver, like, oh, we get your number 1 draft pick for the next 20 years.
We're not. They're not Toronto. They're not gonna.
They are.
No, they are not Toronto.
Okay.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna make the fucking Phil Kessel stupidity of, hey, you know what? That Phil Kessel looks really cool. Here's 4 years of first.
Not 4 years of first. Maybe 15. Okay, give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that. Look, let's just treat it honestly. Let's treat it as rumors. The best way I can give my opinions on it is I was listening to the Merrick versus Wyshynski podcast last week, where Merrick talked about, let's just play a hypothetical situation. Let's say the Jackets trade Johansson for something, I don't know, like the top defensive guy, which honestly isn't going to fix much, even though everyone thinks it will. I don't think there's a lot of other issues than just,
If we get 2 like legit middle pair guys from an elite team, it'll turn things around. But that's the only way we're doing
Yeah,
it. And
like-
we're gonna have to give up. We'd have to give up so many assets to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Since it's because teams don't want to get rid of defensemen because they know how
Valuable there.
valuable they are. That's why these defensemen get these bigger long-term deals. But anyway, let's just like a hypothetical that we trade Johansson because he's not getting along with Tortorella, air quotes, until my fingers fall off. Let's say that happens, and then 2-3 years, 3-4 years from now, core group of players, young guys tune out Tortorella, we fire him, bring in someone else, and where are we? No Tortorella, no Joey. Let's just say hypothetical that he turns out to be the player that we all think he can/will/maybe be. Then
We're what happened to things before.
yeah. And then we'll be 3-4 years from now, a complete different roster, and just, so what? Like, what's the end game? I mean, I know it's social media and stuff, people like to, blah, 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 let's do this, I'm going to be keyboard tough guy, blah, 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 Just, that's all I'm asking is, I think, to summarize, is we're just saying is, let's just use our collective brains a little more. Yes, getting in debates on social media is fun, and if you do it right, it can be engaging, and you can make yourself better for it, the person you're debating with. But when it turns into an argument of just like, oh, you're dumb, he's not going because he is cute, because his sick flow, because of this and that, and
Because he looked so good in the shootout.
Yeah, stuff like that.
How many shootouts we had this year?
Calm down. That was the best. My favorite shootout moment of last year was him getting the same goal on Scrivens twice in a week.
That was good.
But so let's just kind of use our collective brains. Let's just take things for what they are. And I know I understand the fans' reaction. I'm a fan too. We're all like, what the actual literal fuck is going on? But let's just, in the words of Joker, let's not lose our mind. So, just, what? You're making fun of me. Anyway, so, this is why we can't have nice things.
This is why we need to end this video.
Anyway, so just to summarize, use our brains, not overreact, and let's just, shocker. Let's try to enjoy the sport and the team, even though as blah as it is, let's just enjoy it, have fun, take care of each other, don't yell at each other, don't push each other down 5 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that's cool.
About to come up and beat your ass.
He didn't.
I wanted to,
I know you
but I
wanted to.
didn't.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt me. Anyway, like I said, take care of yourselves, embrace each other when we all come back and this thing gets turned around, and yeah, go Jackets.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. Have a good one.